When the enigmatic Infinity Castle first appears in Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, it leaves viewers in awe. A vast, rotating realm of shifting architecture, surreal dimensions, and ominous elegance. But perhaps even more intriguing than the castle itself is its elusive creator, Nakime, the Biwa-playing demon whose stoic silence masks a sorrowful and shocking past. While Nakime doesn't enjoy as much screen time or backstory development as other upper-rank demons, her significance in the story is undeniable. As the keeper and architect of Muzan Kibutsuji's most important stronghold, she is more than a mere support demon. Yet, Kimetsu no Yaiba never delves into the most painful part of her story, her human life, filled with loss, manipulation, and an artistic obsession that led to her transformation into a demon. In this review, we'll unravel the mystery of Nakime's past, explore her unique powers and psychological depth, and shed light on the tragic circumstances that ultimately shape the cold, calculating demon who controls space and reality with a single pluck of her biwa. A silent guardian of the demon realm. In Demon Slayer, Nakime is initially seen as a background character, quietly manipulating the Infinity Castle to transport demons at Muzan's command. But as the story progresses, her role becomes more prominent, and more dangerous. By the time she is promoted to upper rank 4 after Hantengu's death, it becomes clear that Nakime isn't just a support player. Her command over the Infinity Castle essentially gives her control over time and space within Muzan's realm. Her attacks may not be flashy or brutal, but the ability to manipulate environments, teleport enemies, and obscure escape routes makes her a formidable foe. And yet, she speaks almost nothing. This silence, while eerie, serves a deeper purpose. It hints at a trauma so deeply embedded in her psyche that language can no longer contain it. To understand Nakime, we must venture beyond the manga panels, into her imagined human past. Before she was a demon, the tragic life of a forgotten musician. Long before Nakime became a demon, she was a talented but struggling biwa player in the late Edo period. Historical fragments suggest that she was born into poverty, perhaps in Kyoto or Edo, where she learned to play the biwa to earn money on street corners and in back alley tea houses. Though not from a noble family, her devotion to her instrument was absolute. But art, especially for women in feudal Japan, was rarely a path to recognition. Nakime lived a lonely existence, constantly rejected by aristocrats and mocked by male musicians who deemed her playing too emotional and too unsettling. But her biwa wasn't merely an instrument, it was her voice, her diary, her soul. One winter night, after yet another failed performance in a sake house, she returned to find her small rented room vandalized and her only prized possession, her hand-carved biwa, broken in half. Local rumors say she snapped that night. She disappeared for days, wandering the cold streets barefoot, eyes blank. A few whispered that she had been seen playing the broken biwa in the forest, silently, without sound, and that the air around her had begun to warp. That's when Muzan found her. Muzan's chosen architect. Unlike many demons who were forcibly turned, Nakime accepted Muzan's blood willingly, but not for power or immortality. She believed that only in death could she find a stage where her art could be heard. Upon becoming a demon, her powers awakened almost immediately. Her grief, her obsession with performance, and her fractured mind fused to create something new, the Infinity Castle, a living monument to her broken soul. With each biwa pluck, the castle moved like a stage, walls shifting like curtains, rooms collapsing like trapdoors. It was a manifestation of her inner world, constantly changing, deeply theatrical, and hauntingly silent. The biwa, more than an instrument. The biwa Nakime plays is central to her identity, both as a human and a demon. In traditional Japanese culture, the biwa was often associated with blind monks biwa hoshi who recited tragic war tales. It was an instrument of sorrow, memory, and mourning. Nakime's biwa isn't merely for summoning walls or portals, it is her memory made physical. Each string holds a part of her past, the betrayal by her mentor, the cold nights she spent performing in vain, and the humiliation she endured from jealous male performers. This symbolism gives her otherwise mechanical powers a layer of haunting emotion. Every time she plays, she's not attacking. She's remembering. Nakime's silence. A choice or a curse? Why doesn't Nakime speak? Some fans speculate that she may have lost the ability after becoming a demon. Others believe she simply chooses not to, that words have failed her too many times before. But there's another, more poetic theory. Nakime's silence is the final note of her human life, the last act in a tragedy where language could not save her. After all, Nakime's music speaks louder than words. The eerie pluck of her biwa is her scream, her sorrow, and her rage, echoing endlessly within the walls of the Infinity Castle. The battle with Yushiro, a mirror of her past. In the final arc of Demon Slayer, Nakime meets her end not in a flashy battle, but in a cerebral struggle against Yushiro, the demon created by Tamayo. Yushiro uses illusion and mental manipulation to turn Nakime's own powers against her, much like how Nakime's mind once betrayed her during her human life. This moment is poetic justice. A woman who used art as a weapon is finally undone by an artist of illusions. Yushiro doesn't just defeat Nakime, he understands her. Their clash isn't just a battle of demons, it's a battle of minds, of memories, of creative control. In the end, Nakime is decapitated, but her body doesn't fall. The Infinity Castle vanishes into the void with her, like the closing of a stage curtain. No screams, no final words, just silence. Legacy of a forgotten artist. Nakime's story reminds us that in Demon Slayer, demons are not monsters born of malice, but often people broken by the world, corrupted by loss, despair, or longing. Unlike other demons who clung to pride or love, Nakime clung to expression, and when the world refused to listen, she created a realm where she could control every stage, every audience, every exit. She was not cruel by nature, but her indifference masked a deep, festering wound. Her artistry, once a source of beauty, became a weapon. Her music, once meant to move hearts, became a tool of war. And yet, there's something heartbreakingly human about her, a quiet voice still trapped inside the demon, playing the same tragic tune over and over, waiting for someone to truly listen. Final thoughts. Nakime is one of the most underrated characters in Demon Slayer, not because she lacked power or impact, but because her story was told in silence, in shadows, and in shifting walls. She was the demon of space and memory, of forgotten performers and failed dreams. Her biwa was more than an instrument, it was the echo of her soul. Though the main story never explored her full history, the tragedy of Nakime speaks volumes in the spaces between. And perhaps, that's exactly what she wanted, not to be seen or heard, but to be remembered.